What's your role with Israel365 and what's it all about?
So Israel365 was founded about 13 years ago, and what we're all about is making sure that Christians stay connected to Israel on an ongoing basis. So we send out daily emails with updates and inspiration from Israel to hundreds of thousands of Christians every day. And we also work with Christian leadership on their messaging on Israel, on their and guiding them in terms of the positions that they're taking on Israel. That's a very important part of our work. In addition, we have a website that's a news website that is news and analysis from Israel called Israel365 News. That is, the target audience is the evangelical Christian population. So it's like news that also incorporates a faith perspective. But our organization's all Jews. It's all written by Orthodox Jews, everything we do. I also travel around speaking a lot. I appear in Christian media a fair amount, messaging on Israel and knowing how to speak to a population that is not from your own community. You have to understand where they're coming from and what their mindset is. So I've been in the business of Jewish-Christian relations for many years, and so I spend a fair amount of time, again, engaging with Christian media, with Christian leadership, speaking in Christian communities about Israel, and building that relationship, because a lot of, most Jews at this point know that there's millions of Christians who support Israel, and they think, oh, the Christians are with us. It's not so simple. The Christian Zionist movement, the movement of support for Israel, is an aging population. The younger generation of Christians are less, they're not anti-Israel, but it's less of a concern for them. Let's put it that way. But again, it would be a mistake to say that they're anti-Israel. They're not. But Israel's not relevant to them in the way that it's relevant to the earlier generation. And that's not about anything we did wrong. It has to do with certain trends in Christian theology and certain trends in Christian faith that just impact the way younger Christians view these issues. So the challenge of assuring that the next generation of Christians are also on board with Israel is something that's very front and center right now in terms of the type of work that we're doing. We also publish books, books of like Torah written for Christians or things about Israel written for Christians. So, for example, one of the recent books we came out with is a book of stories of heroism from October 7th. That was written with language and a framing that Christians can understand. Because sometimes as Jews, we write things for Jews, and we don't realize that sometimes there's even a matter of nomenclature, certain terms and phrases that have different resonance in different communities. So it takes a little bit of work to step outside of your own culture. But that's what we do at Israel365. Again, we do a lot of work interfacing with Christians. We also have cooperation with different Israeli politicians who want to gain access to the Christian world and want to understand how to speak to them, and we'll work with them on that as well, kind of in a consulting way. I hope this gives a sense of what we do.
How does the money flow? What's the financial model
of Israel365? Well, I just told you, we sell products, we sell books, we sell all kinds of things from Israel.
Talks? You sell talks? Lectures online? Yeah,
we don't charge for talks, but most of the money comes through the websites that we run and through the products. We also have a subscription service to a Bible study program that we do. We also do raise funds for a number of charities in Israel. So there's a lot of different, and we have donors. Because we have a nonprofit arm and a for-profit arm. The for-profit arm is selling products and things, and the nonprofit arm is really most of the work that we do. And the for-profit supports the nonprofit, if that makes sense.
The folks that we spoke with last night gave me the impression that they still want to convert Jews to Yeshua.
Listen, everyone who's strong in their faith believes that they have the truth. The Rambam writes that at the end of time, the Christians, even though the Rambam writes that even though the purpose of Christianity is to lead the whole world to a knowledge of Tanakh, which will serve the purposes of the Mashiach coming, at the end, they're going to drop their belief in Christianity. So Jews believe that ultimately Christians are going to drop their belief. Christians also believe that ultimately we're all going to believe in Jesus. That's part of their eschatology. But Jews have to be very clear-eyed. Well, even the Christians who love us most, they would be thrilled if we all accepted Jesus.
Well, some of them are working to missionize in Israel.
But understand something. The mistake that Jews make is when they think that that's the reason why they're supportive of Israel. And it's not. It has zero to do with it. Zero. Meaning Christians do want us all to believe in Jesus, but that has nothing to do with why they support Israel.
Okay, well, they may be separate, but on a parallel track. In other words, they believe that Jews will move to Israel, and then that will be like a harbinger, right? In gathering the exiles.
You're connecting them. That they don't connect them in that way. This idea that the reason they support Israel is for all the Jews to move there because that'll bring the rapture. And I'm telling you, I work with Christians. I read a lot. I know Christian theology pretty well because of my work. I work with Christians even in the academic setting. And I want to tell any Jew who's watching this, understand something. The only place I ever hear that idea is from Jews who think that that's what Christians believe. And when I share it with Christians that I know, pastors or Christian academic theologians, they look at me like I'm crazy and they've never heard of this before.
How about this notion of end times? What's the fate of the Jews in the end times in their eschatology?
What difference does it make?
Makes a difference.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any difference. What difference does it make? What? Do you believe in Christian eschatology?
No.
So why do you care if they do?
Well, because they may be motivated.
Who cares what motivates
to convert Jews to save our souls.
I am concerned with how people treat me. I'm not concerned with what they believe about me.
But they're treating you nicely to lure you in somehow.
Not luring anyone. If Christian Zionism's goal was to convert Jews, then it's the most failed movement in history. You want me to say that again? If Christian Zionism's goal is to convert Jews, it's the most failed movement in history.
Many Jews in Spain converted. The Jews in Mexico converted.
From modern Christian Zionism?
Not from Zionism.
Let me say it again. Okay. If Christian Zionism's goal is to convert Jews, it's the most failed movement in history. Okay? That's not its goal. That's not the goal of these people. I know them very well. That's not their goal.
Would they like to see Christianity dominate? I mean, is their goal to increase Christianity in Israel?
No, that's not. Look, they would love it if everyone accepted Jesus because they believe in Jesus. Okay. But that's not what motivates their support for Israel.